what's going on, guys? It's Will here. Today I have a presentation for you all, and today we're going to be talking about a site that is located right in between downtown Champaign on the west side of the tracks, kind of like 3/4 between downtown Champaign and Campus Town, I would say. Currently on that site, it's pretty low intensity. Really is only like a few warehouse buildings with a Goodyear there, some low industrial type buildings, some parking lots. So it's ripe for development, and it lies right in that corridor that kind of connects both Campus Town to downtown Champaign under the railway. Now, downtown Champaign and Campus Town, they're both located within Champaign itself. However, even though they're like a mile apart, people don't really walk between them that often. And there's one reason why, and that's because there's this ring that separates Campus Town from downtown Champaign of just low intensity, kind of like urban blight-esque zone buildings. And it feels kind of unsafe to walk through, even though I don't know how safe it is. I don't think it's like any more dangerous. It just feels kind of sketchier. Recently, Core Spaces, a company, has shown interest in developing the land into a mixed-use development known as the Yards. The development would be centered around a new arena, which U of I would hopefully get a hockey team finally to play there. All of our sports arenas are located so far removed from either of Urbana's town centers, Champaign's town center, or Campus Town even. Like, it's a hike to get anywhere. But this new development would be right next to the train station, which would really connect it to the outside world, as well as downtown Champaign being right there. It would drive people there to get some economic growth. And I think that more places need to have those key buildings located near the lake centers. That's what we saw in Detroit. They moved all of their buildings back downtown in order to stimulate growth, and it's helped. So I think more cities should be doing that, and I think this is a good step for Champaign. Also, being so close to the train station will help to lessen the amount of traffic that we would see on game days, because people from let's say Chicago, who are coming to visit for a game, might end up just taking the train because it could just be more convenient. You know, you take the train from your work building, like my dad who works above Union Station, he could just come down after work on a Friday and come watch the hockey game, because it would take him directly from his building straight to basically the arena. And it also would plan to expand existing bus transit capacities, which is good. We could always use more transportation, especially with the new arena. That's going to be an influx of more people who are going to be using the bus, especially because the main terminal is right there. So of course people are going to use it more, so more buses are good. The development project has a great potential to provide tons of positive growth for the area and the surrounding area. I think it has potential to really help connect downtown Champaign and Campus Town. I think we've seen the Midtown try to grow, but it's still not getting that push, because that little strip of land in between Midtown and downtown Champaign separates it all. Like I said, I really like the idea of having a U of I sports team and arena located right downtown. I think it would be good for the community. The mixed usage is always a plus. I think the area could use some more mixed usage. And of course, expanded transportation capabilities. That's a positive. All around, it just needs to happen. And anyway, some concerns that I have about the project are that Logan Street, which connects the two sides of the tracks, I'm worried that it's going to feel a little claustrophobic with parking garages there, and a little bit too car-oriented instead of pedestrian-oriented, which is a concern because it already feels so unsafe for pedestrians to walk in between there. So having a bunch of cars there, people aren't gonna walk. I also worry that the plan might not necessarily match the community as much as it could. But at the same time, I'm not too worried about that because I have looked at some of Core Space's other works, such as the hub in Campus Town and apparently the Dean, which I think looks pretty good. And I think with the city's like guidance with like what materials they should use, at least on the like lower levels, like street level, I think it could end up working pretty well. Now we move on to my suggestions where I got a little bit creative. So first we have the new like pedestrian promenade that I would like to implement along Logan Street because it is that connection and I think it could be pretty nice. Another thing that I wanted to include with that was like trees as well, but also I wanted to make sure that the entrance to the arena actually face onto Logan Street because it is that connection. I also wanted to put the parking to the back. Like I said, I think parking on like by the streets can feel pretty auto-oriented instead of pedestrian first, and I think that we need to carry pedestrian first principles in a very walking centric area, especially because we want to encourage train usage and walking to the arena instead of driving. I decided we can still have a decent parking garage, but we're gonna put it in the back where it's not gonna be like right on the street. There'll still be some street access to it, but it's just gonna be out of the way so then pedestrians don't have to see it. It's going to get the cars a little bit further away and hopefully keep people more encouraged to actually take the trains or any other public transit or just walk to the arena. Next up we have office space. Now keep in mind when I do like office and residential, this is with like commercial on street level. Like around the board in this area, commercial should be on the street level. It's right in downtown Champaign. There should be commercial on the street level. Like, come on. Come on. I put the offices kind of closer to the train tracks because those are going to produce more noise. Offices are a bit noisier. I mean, yes, you kind of want a quiet office, but let's be real. Would you rather have homes by the train tracks or the offices by the train tracks? Probably the offices. Moving on, we finally have the residential. So I just put those in the two other lots because they're further away from the train tracks. I think it kind of creates a nice kind of wedge, a nice buffer for the residential so it won't be too loud, but they're still like in the action. I also include Slash Hotel for the one that borders the arena because it's gonna be a really big building. And I think it has potential to be a pretty cool hotel, especially because it's gonna be right next to the arena. People are gonna need somewhere to stay downtown, and it's right next to the train station, which is another bonus. So, I mean, that's a win-win, and plus with the office spaces, people visiting from out of town. I mean, there's just so much. I should also mention that the ideas of like expanding the transportation, I didn't mess with that because I thought they did a pretty good job with it. But like everything else, I thought just tweak a little bit, just like a little rotation. Anyways, the final thing, now this is a little bit of a stretch. I don't actually know like how feasible this is because I know that like arenas, the roofs are very massive. They don't have like many supporting structures underneath. So I know it's like different, like what you can support on top of that. So I don't know like if this is possible, but I was saying we could put a green roof on top of there, and if possible, we could make it a public park. Like I said, I don't know totally because that's gonna be a lot of people up there. It will cost more money to implement this, but it would also be a park right downtown that also connects to the train tracks. Like you could come from the train, go directly to the park, and then go watch a game. Like, and then stay at the hotel, and then go to work. I mean, everything's right there. It's beautiful. I love this design. I hope you love it too. Yeah, and I thought the overall idea was pretty solid. I just thought a few things could be slightly changed. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.